India coming out of the COVID-19 lockdown is wrapped in plastic. The fight against single-use plastic, which was slowly gaining momentum, has not just been halted, but single-use plastic has found many new applications in items such as goggles, face shields, surgical gloves, masks, head and shoe covers, and many such items which are extensively being used to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
As demand for these items has grown, so has production. According to the Association of Indian Medical Device Industry, India has significantly ramped up production of gloves and sanitizers, with new manufacturers entering the arena to meet rising demand. Items like swabs and goggles, which are not being produced in India before the pandemic struck, are also being mass-produced now, and all these use a sizable amount of plastic, whether inherently in the design or for packaging purposes. The industry believes that while these numbers may come down as the pandemic is fought back and a vaccine is synthesized, it will not disappear completely.
Well, we think that they will come down to hardly 10% of the current usage levels. We don't expect that post-COVID, these kind of consumables will be maintained. Of course, with better hygiene, discipline, and habits not being conditioned, like wearing masks, that may see more usage going forward. But things like PPE coveralls, we don't expect them to be used in such huge numbers at all, and the demand will come down to less than 10% of what is current.
But it's not just the medical devices industry that has ramped up use of plastics.
Ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, multiple state government guidelines have mandated that restaurants run only takeaways and not dine-in services. While the intention of these orders is to ensure social distancing and prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus, it's resulted in another problem: a spike in the use of disposable plastics.
There is a spike, but we try to manage and bring it within the norms that's been set by the government. But I'm not very sure about the disposable cutlery, if it's biodegradable and all that. We are yet not sure, but we try to stick and send the cutleries that we buy from our vendor, which has been approved by the government. As such. Because of the COVID, we are unable to predict what is available, what is not available. So whatever is available, we try to mix and match and then give it to the customer.
But the restaurant business is just the tip of the iceberg. In the food industry itself, the bigger consumers of single-use plastic are large central kitchens which feed thousands of employees every single day.
So what we have seen is almost, in fact, just before this conversation, we were looking at the data. We're seeing depending on the nature of the site, between a 20 or a 30% increase. And the irony is, we have no way of knowing which is a biodegradable plastic and a non-bio, because you do have biodegradable plastics also. But it's difficult to know how to classify.
The hope, of course, is that this spike in the use of single-use plastic will be short-lived and people will become more plastic conscious as the uncertainty over the pandemic recedes and lifestyles stabilize. With Jude Sanit in Chennai and Yash Jain in Mumbai, Kumar.